Welcome back to this series on David Ricardo's theory of value. In this episode, we're going to integrate Ricardo's understanding of technical change into his theory of value. Ricardo didn't explicitly incorporate an understanding of technical change into his theory at the outset. It wasn't until the publication of the final edition of Ricardo's Principles of Political Economy that he introduced a chapter dedicated to the topic, which he titled On Machinery. It's in this chapter that he explores the effect of technological innovation on value, namely its role in abruptly reducing the natural price of a commodity. Suppose one particular firm discovers an inexpensive machine which allows them to produce a commodity with fewer hours of labor per unit of output. So long as this technical innovation remains hidden from its competitors, the firm will find itself able to cut costs, and it will do that while selling at the same price as it was before, reaping phenomenal profits. This would cause the firm to do really quite well. This joyride cannot last for very long. As soon as other firms catch wind of the innovation, they'll copy it in an attempt to share in the payout. Two twin forces then emerge in order to push the exceptional rates of profit in this very profitable industry downward. Firstly, each firm in this highly profitable industry will strive to undercut each other's prices, sacrificing profit rates for market share. Secondly, investors in less profitable pursuits will migrate capital into the industry in question, driving up supply. These twin forces of price undercutting and capital inflow will continue until the industry's typical profit rate is similar to that of the economy at large. Firms will not attempt to undercut their competitors when doing so yields them a less than typical rate of profit, and capital inflows will cease when there's no payout in doing so. The end result is that prices will have fallen towards the level necessary to pay typical rates of profits and wages. Or to say the same thing differently, the commodity in question will sell at its natural price. As this example demonstrates, the introduction of a technical innovation sets in motion a series of events which drive a commodity towards a new typical price. That price is its new natural price. By reducing the labor that must be expended in order to produce a commodity, technical innovations shrink the labor embodied in it. That is, it shrinks its value. The reductions in the value of a commodity, in this case, are not immediately felt, although the market price of that commodity will begin to trend towards its new natural price when its center of gravity changes. The mobility of productive factors is necessary to facilitate that gravitation. Much of Ricardo's earlier writing found him alluding to technical change as a positive force for every class. Since the introduction of efficient machinery lowers the value of commodities, allowing more output to be produced with the same quantity of labor, he points out that the increased wealth that results from technical change may be a benefit to all. It's not until his chapter on machinery in the third edition of Ricardo's Principles that he considers the potential downsides of labor-saving innovations. Quote, "The substitution of machinery for human labor is often injurious to the interests of the class of laborers because it has the unfortunate effect of replacing particular workers with machines." What Ricardo is recognizing here is that the result of technical change can be that a slew of the previously employed are put out of a living. Although he admits that the substitution of workers for machines may be detrimental to them in the short term, Ricardo is still optimistic that bouts of unemployment caused by technical change will not lead to higher sustained levels of unemployment. He expects that the reduction in the price of commodities consequent on the introduction of machinery occasions an increased means of saving, which in turn generates the investment necessary for, quote, "the people thrown out of work in the first instance to become subsequently employed." In Ricardo's view, this same force that puts some out of work will create the conditions for them to become employed elsewhere, leaving them with both the benefits of a job and that of cheaper commodities. In the next episode, we're going to discuss a conflict that Ricardo had with Malthus over what a theory of value is really about. If you're a graduate student or a professor studying economics, particularly history of economic thought, and you have some interesting work you'd be willing to share with me, I'd like to speak with you. Please reach out to me by filling out the form in the description of this episode. If you're studying economics at the undergraduate or high school level and you're in need of a tutor, I may be able to help you. You can get in contact with me by filling out that same form. If you'd like to see more content like this, where I discuss various topics in the history of economic thought, please consider checking out my YouTube channel. See you in the next episode.